Assalamualaikum and good morning to all of you. Thank you for coming to this session. Alhamdulillah, because with his permission, we can meet in this forum. We're gonna discuss about one of the issue that occur in the field of Islamic financial. Before that, I would like to welcome all of you to our event today, especially our special guest, Yang Berhormat Encik Ahmad Bukhari. Thank you YB for taking time to be with us today. Hopefully we will get the benefits from this forum. Before I introduce our beautiful and handsome panels, allow me to brief a little bit regarding our topic today. The title of our forum today focus on the Islamic financial issue and challenge, which more focus on the growth of Islamic financial, and the topic is the growth of Islamic Real Estate Investment Trust. Real Estate Investment Trust REIT is a collective investment scheme in real estate that combines the best features of real estate and trust fund. IREIT is the Sharia version of conventional REITs. Due to this field is growing, then there will definitely be challenges for us, especially in the Islamic capital market. The purpose of this forum to achieve clarity on the what is known versus what is speculation or even exaggeration. Without wasting any more time, I would like to introduce 4 panel members who are well known. My name is IZZATI binti ANUAR, and I'm as your professional panel moderator. I will be guiding us through this process. Okay, first of all, we have IZZATI ADILAH as Senior Executive Property Management at Amanah Raya Reits Sedang Berhad, and she has served for about 6 years at Amanah Raya Reits Sedang Berhad. Okay, next is we have ASMAA from Damansara Reits Sedang Berhad. She has served as a manager for about 3 years. And besides, we also have AIDA, which is the property manager at OIB Group. And last but not least, the only one gentleman here, Encik Fikri, as a lecturer at UiTM Kota Baru. I would like to welcome to all of the panels. So, as the opener of our forum this time, I would like to ask a question to Puan IZZATI ADILAH. Okay, Puan, can you share with us all a little bit the background of Islamic Real Estate Investment Trust in Malaysia?
Thank you to our beautiful moderator for today, Ms. Izzati Anwar. My name is Izzati ADILAH binti ZAIDI. I am Senior Executive Property Management at Amanah Raya Reits Sedang Berhad. Thank you for inviting me today. I feel very honored to be here to share this issue with our audience today. Yes, I think everyone needs to know a little bit about the background of Islamic Real Estate Investment Trust in Malaysia, so their mind will be more open and knowledgeable about this issue. Islamic Real Estate Investment Trust (REIT) are a funds or a trust that own and manage income-producing commercial real estate which comply with Sharia. In November 2005, the Malaysian Security Commissions issued guidelines on Islamic Real Estate Investment Trust, Islamic REIT, which make Malaysia a front-runner in developing Sharia-compliant investment options, particularly the Islamic REIT. To date, there are 16 Malaysian Real Estate Investment Trusts REIT list on Bursa Malaysia, of which 3 are Sharia compliant, namely Aziz REIT, Al-Aqar REIT, and currently staple KLCCP REIT. The first company to convert from conventional to Islamic REIT was Aziz REIT. Aziz REIT was listed as a conventional in 2005 before converting to Islamic REIT in 2008 because the company aimed to widen its investor base on not only to the conventional investor but also gauge the demand coming from the Muslim investor.
Thank you to our first panel, Puan ADILAH. State that the purpose of Islamic Real Estate Investment Trust is to provide alternative for investors to choose Sharia-compliant instruments. Besides, she also said that there are 16 Malaysian Real Estate Investment Trusts that are available and listed on Bursa Malaysia. Okay, for the further detail of the type of IREITs, I would like to ask Puan AIDA. Puan AIDA, can you give more explanation about the type of IREITs they are available in Malaysia Islamic capital market.
Thank you to our moderator. Assalamualaikum and have a good day to all the panelists and the audience. I am Nur Hanim BINTI AMRAN. I am so glad to be one of the guests here. As what Miss Izzati had said just now, I am Property Manager at OIB Group, which is Oriented Interest Berhad. Okay, Reits. Reits is defined as a security that sells a stock on the major exchange and invests in real estate directly, either through properties or mortgage. Reits receive special tax considerations and typically offer investors high yields as well as highly liquid method of investing in real estate. There are three types of REITs. First, equity REITs. Equity REITs invest in and own properties thus responsible for the equity or value of their real estate assets. Their revenues come principally from their properties rents. Second, mortgage REIT. Mortgage REIT deal in investment and ownership of properties mortgage. This REIT loan money for mortgage to owners of real estate or purchase existing mortgage or mortgage-backed securities. Their revenue are generated primarily by interest that they earn on the mortgage loans. Third, hybrid REITs. Hybrid REITs combine the investment strategies of the equity REITs and mortgage REITs by investing in both properties and mortgage. Out of these three types of REITs, equity REITs is the most common type of REITs trade in the securities market. Thank you, that's all from me.
Okay, thank you Puan Aida for the detailed explanation regarding the type of IREITs. The type that was mentioned by Puan Aida just now are the equity IREITs, mortgage REITs, and the hybrid REITs. Each of these types have their own specific purpose. If I'm not mistaken, equity REITs is the most common type of REITs traded in the securities market. Correct, Puan Aida? Okay, next we move to the only one gentleman here, Encik Fikri. As an educator from UiTM, can you give your personal opinion on how to invest in IREITs in Malaysia?
Thank you, Miss Izzati, for the good question. So, I think everyone out there wants to know how to we can invest in IREITs in our country, which is Malaysia. In simple terms, REITs a share of commercial property list on Bursa Saham Malaysia Stock Exchange that is owned and managed by professional and property developer. Property under the REITs are income generating real estate such as shopping mall, hospital, factory, warehouse, office and farm. So IREITs is pool monies from numerous investors similar to the unit trust for investment in the aforementioned real estate venture. So investing in IREITs is the same as investing in any share. So therefore IREIT is subject to the same trade payment and settle procedure. You still need to open a trading account and central depositor system, which is the CDS account that keep track of your buying and selling of share before you can start investing. So in Malaysia, IREITs are regulated by the Security Commission, which has issued a guideline on the real estate investment trust pursuant to section 377 of the Capital Market and Service Act 2007. Next, I will explain the basic step to begin investing. So the first step is pick a brokerage firm, which is we need to browse the Bursa Malaysia website and pick a suitable brokerage firm. So take a note of the broker commission, fee, ease of transaction, whether it is Sharia compliant and how user friendly is the preferred online trading platform. So for the second is we need to open the trading account and CDS account. After selecting a broker, set an appointment with the broker to open this account. Typically, you will be asked to provide a document such as copy of your identification, bank account statement, and your broker will also give you a tutorial on how to use the online trading platform. Next step is put funds into your trading account. Opening an account take a few days. Once your account is active, you can proceed to put fund into the online trading platform. Add funds based on your financial ability. The last step is we can start our investing. With sufficient fund in your trading account, you may now start buying and selling on Bursa Malaysia using the online trading platform.
Thank you so much, Encik Fikri. To invest in iReits requires the same steps to invest in many shares. Encik Fikri also shared a basic steps in investing, such as choose the best brokerage firm, then open a trading account. After that, we need to provide required documents, and after our account is active, then we can put funds into trading account. I think that most of us can understand the steps explained by Encik Fikri. Even it's only a simple explanation, at least it can give an idea for the first timer to start the trading, right? Okay. Puan Adilah already briefed about the background of iReits. After that, Puan Aida has explained regarding the type of iReits. Then Encik Fikri also told us the steps to invest in iReits. Then it is the time for us to know what is the risk and returns of iReits. I address this question to Puan Asma. Puan Asma, can you describe to us the risk and returns of iReits?
Assalamualaikum and good morning to Miss Moderator, all panel and audience here. My name is Nur Asma binti Sukri, a REIT manager in Damansara Sendirian Berhad. First of all, thank you to Miss IZZATI for inviting me to join in this forum. For the question about risk and return of iReits, I think there are many risks and return in iReits. First, we will discuss about the return. The return of iReits is a mid portfolio of assets because investors are able to diversify their risk portfolio by participating in range of real estate and real estate related assets. Net return is high dividend distribution to unit holder. To qualify for tax transparency status, iReits is required to distribute 90% or more of its total income to unit holder. The third return of iReits is stable return because iReits is physically able to generate stable, sustainable income through rental income and capital appreciation, which can be used to continually pay regular dividend. The last return is affordability, which is iReits allow investors to participate in the real estate market with smaller capital outlay as compared to the outright purchase of real estate. There are three risks in iReits, which is first, return are not guaranteed. The total return of an iReits is subject to the performance of the property market. Hence, the unit price of an iReits may go down if its underlying property drop in value. Moreover, investor will lose the control over investment. Investor will not have direct control over the management company investment decision, like when to buy or sell certain real estate or how they will be managed. The last one about risk is market factor of iReits is also subject to the variance of market demand and supply. For example, market fluctuation, confidence in the economy and change in the interest rates may affect iReits price.
Thank you, Puan Asma. Every matter we involve will have risk and return. Same goes to the invest in iReits. The investor will face many challenges such as the return are not guaranteed. Besides, the investor will lose the control over investment. And lastly, market also can be risk factor. However, investor will enjoy return based on their investment. For instance, there are 4 types of return, which is mixed portfolio of assets, high dividend distribution of unit holders, stable return, and affordability. As we know, iReits are easily growing, and this is included in Malaysia. What are the issues of iReits under the current economic climate? And what is the existing solution that has been made to overcome this problem? Please, Puan Adilah, the floor is yours.
Thank you, moderator, Ms. Izzati Anwar, for the questions. There are certain issues surrounding IREIT due to its unique characteristic to comply with the Sharia principle requirement. This issue needs to be eliminated to cater the need for the growth of their particular segment in Islamic capital market industry. MOMNA 2011 argued that although their business model is a stable one, IREIT are not without risk. Dividend payment are not granted, and the real estate market is prone to clinical downturn. In addition, high distributions of annual profit and lower reinvestment lead to a slower growth rate. She further argued that two major issues which can hinder the growth of IREIT are the lack of a developed secondary market for Islamic instruments and the absence of a guidance and regulatory framework. MOMA 2011. Malaysia took the initiative of issuing the Islamic REIT guideline, and since that time the promotion and development of Islamic finance by the Malaysian authority has been exemplary. MOMNA 2011 and ASNAN highlight that on 21 November 2005, ASIF further released the guideline for Islamic real estate investment trust in an effort to facilitate further development of new Islamic capital market products. IREIT must comply with both guidelines, which are the Guideline for Islamic REIT, November 2005, and the General ASIC Guideline on REIT, January 2005. According to the SUKRI 2008, the guideline on the issuance of Islamic REIT issued by the ASIC is the first guideline on Islamic REIT in the global Islamic financial sector, essentially providing Sharia guidance on the investment and business activity on IREIT. Subsequently, another issue arises in the lack of standardizations in Sharia, which is stated by Nazah Muhammad and Nurajimi 2012 list the issue and challenge faced by IREIT globally, which are as a follow. For the first one is limitation of investment universe and lack of appropriate index for pricing. Lastly, Al-Bakr 2007 also shared about the further an issue and challenge for IREIT in which it operates globally such as property who make activity carry out permissible and non-permissible. The second is standardizations of Islamic REIT, lack of a developed secondary market for Islamic product and rule are not clear for overseas investor in real estate. So, in my opinion, I think certain action need to be taken to overcome the issue and challenge faced by IREIT. This is to ensure what IREIT will attract more investors due to its unique characteristic. So, I think that's all my opinion about this issue. Thank you.
Thank you, Puan Adilah. Puan Adilah addressed a few common issues arise in IREIT, such as lack of developed secondary market for Islamic instruments, the absence of guidance and regulatory framework, and lack of standardization in Sharia. The example of existing solution is issuing guidelines for IREIT. Securities Commission also released general guidelines in IREIT. Therefore, IREIT must comply both guidelines. Next, I want to ask Puan Aida, can you describe how IREIT is issued and what is the status of dividend received from IREIT?
Okay, about the issues. In May 2013, Malaysia issued world's first staple REIT, which is KLCC REIT. A staple REIT is an investment vehicle which is stapled two or more entities or instruments into a new financial instrument. Malaysia's largest REIT jumps on relisting KLCC. KLCC Property Real Estate Investment Trust, Malaysia's biggest REIT, rose as much as 6.3% in its relisting, benefiting from strong demand for property-related stocks amid growth in Southeast Asia's third biggest economy. Developer stocks and REITs have performed particularly well even ahead of the elections. An index of Malaysian property shares has risen 25%, outperforming a 5% rise in the main index. The Malaysian economy is expected to remain on a steady growth path and expand 5 to 6% in 2013, buoyed by robust domestic demand. The central bank has said the construction sector has experienced strong growth. The KLCC REIT, which was initially a property company, has restructured itself into a staple REIT in a bid to lure yield-hungry investors and relisted as the new entity. Its REIT status is expected to help increase profits because its income tax exemption. It is raising no new money.
Thank you, Puan Aida. I love on how Puan Aida very detailed in explaining the price and dividend of iREITs. I think it is good for the audience to know the current situation for the iREITs price, since our objective of this forum is to give as much exposure about iREITs, including the price and dividend received. Encik Fikri, based on the explanation from Puan Aida regarding the issuing of iREITs in Malaysia, do you think Islamic investment is a more stable choice in uncertain times?
Okay, thank you, Miss Izzati, for the issue that I will explain it about this issue. So, Sharia compliant investment may be a better choice for investor during time of uncertainty, like now, according to the country's second largest Islamic asset manager. Principal Islamic asset management Saudi Berhad, historical Islamic investment are less volatile than their conventional counterparts. So volatile equity markets at home and globally, we will start getting better due to the uncertainty over how long the COVID-19 pandemic will last. Even as economic activity has slowed down dramatically and oil price slump at the home, the government put into place a movement control order from March 18 to 31, which last Wednesday was extended to the April 14. So, the COVID-19 outbreak has caused major disruption to capital market, global supply chain, economy, and daily life. So, economy activity may take a while to normalize, and a V-shaped recovery may be unlikely at this juncture. So the increased uncertainty from the coronavirus outbreak has led to financial market volatility not seen since the last global financial crisis. On the fixed income front, benchmark 10 years US government bond yield have rallied massively by 111 basis point from 1.91% as they end December 2019 to around 0.8% at the time of writing, as demand for the safe havens asset has intensified amid the virus outbreak. Asian countries, including Malaysia, have already cut policy rates in responsible response to the turmoil. Based on the real interest rates in the region, there is more room for rate cuts, and these bodies well for bond price. So the damage and market recovery will depend on how fast the virus is contained and how much economic support the government can provide during this period. So, under this scenario of market volatility, we stay invest as the current market correction present opportunity to accumulate good investment opportunity at favorable valuation. We prefer the fixed income space as it can still benefit from interest rate cuts and increased liquidity in the market as major global central bank embark on quantitative easing. In quantities, we like healthcare relate and divide the yield stock. So, at this outbreak has created uncertainty for business that manufacture and source material in China. History has guided that The turning point for sentiment will come if a vaccine is invented and escalation of the virus decrease. So the negative sentiment in the short term will affect business, and particularly in the consumer transport, restaurant tourism and retail sector.
Thank you, Encik Fikri. I agree with Encik Fikri. Nowadays, we live in uncertainty life. We never imagined that the whole world will suffer from COVID-19. So, yes, Sharia compliant investment is the better choice for investor. Wakaf term is familiar among Malaysian. Encik Fikri also mentioned that Sharia compliant investment is the better choice. Can you relate the term wakaf with Reits? Can Islamic Real Estate Investment Trust (Reits) used as a contemporary instrument in developing wakaf assets? I address the question to Puan Asma.
Thank you for the question, Ms. Izzati. I will proceed to the question. Wakaf have been regarded as primary vehicle for Muslim in society to finance its business activity. In addition, wakaf may serve as a safety net for socio-economic security through wealth distribution and sharing of benefit with the poor and needy. IREIT itself can be seen as a company that owns and usually manages commercial and residential of behalf the shareholder. From an industry point of view, IREITs are seen to have a great deal of potential to attract wider pool of institutional and individual investors in providing abundant support for the expansion of property sector through acquisition of properties via the schemes, hence stimulating the industry growth. The proven ability of IREIT to raise capital can also benefit activity of upgrading and maintaining public infrastructure and facilities such as airport and healthcare institutions. IREIT is a good alternative merchandise to unlock the value of wakaf asset. Besides, wakaf IREIT can also employ cash wakaf mechanism to generate more funds to create wakaf properties. For instance, the organization may design wakaf prospectus to invite cash from the public to be donated in wakaf IREIT. The wakaf IREIT itself may be determined asset to be acquired under it. Next, the public will donate their money which shall be used to acquire properties and share the declared as wakaf. For the question, yes, IREIT can use as a contemporary instrument in developing wakaf asset.
Thank you, Puan Asma. Puan Asma explained that IREIT itself is able to raise capital and upgrading public infrastructure. Then it is the best alternative mechanism to increase the value of wakaf asset. I don't want to explain more on the issue because Puan Asma already answered my question just now. Before we end our forum, I would love to hear the summary from all of our panels regarding our topic today. Should we start with the first panel, Puan ADILAH? And then we go to the second panels, and then third panels, and lastly, Puan AIDA.
In a conclusion, I think IREIT have a huge potential to grow and become an alternative for investment which is accepted globally. This could be achieved by solving the issue and challenge surrounding its operations. The authority bodies such as CS should come up with a universally accepted regulatory framework for all investors globally. The advisory body such as BNM also should identify the asset class and type for the investment trust, whereas for the government, they should provide a better platform for cross-border trading for all investors around the world to take part into the potential alternative investment to diversify investor portfolio. The government also should revise the tax benefit and double tax tariffs for IREITs in order for IREITs to become more attractive for investors. In a nutshell, I think that's all from me, and thank you moderator and other panel for inviting me to this interactive forum. And I hope all my sharing is useful and usefully for your investment.
Undoubtedly, Islamic REITs with their relatively stable returns provide investors with a new Sharia-compliant investment options. As evident from the above discussion, Islamic REITs is an investment instrument not only potential in providing investors with a peace of mind in terms of complying with God's law, but equally important the benefits of participating in the steady rental yields of real estates and other properties. Islamic REIT also offer the benefit of diversification arising from their holding of a portfolio of high-quality real estates with different tenancy lengths and geographical locations rather than a single real estate or building. Indeed, the emergence of Islamic REITs should help to propel the expansion of Islamic capital market in Malaysia. For Malaysian Islamic REITs to be truly successful, they also have to appeal to the vast international investing community. In this regard, the various state incentives and regulatory framework introduced by the Malaysian authorities are perceived as a move in a right direction towards realizing the noble vision of becoming the world's Islamic financial and capital hub.
Okay, in conclusion, unlike traditional real estate, IREITs are trades on the stock exchange. Investor can get the diversification that real estate provide without being fastened down on a long-term basis. IREITs share are very liquid as they can easily bought and sold. Also, the pool capital enable for the purchase of real estate that investor normally could not afford. The commercial industry and retail property. Compare this to the typical property investment where the process of buying and selling takes anyway between 6 to 2 years. This is because there are many parties involved such as buyer agency, property, lawyer, bank, the Inland Revenue Board and the land office. But I don't know how much about share you see. There is nothing to worry as your IREITs investment will be fully managed by a professional, unlike the investing in physical property where you need to consider the type of property, home loan and real property gain tax. And let's not forget having to deal with the difficult tenants. So what I think is this kind of investment are safe for us to use it. Thank you.
In my opinion, IREIT is a good instrument to follow because it is a regulation under Sharia requirement. There are many returns of IREIT compared to the risks which I have mentioned before, like mid-portfolio asset, high dividend distribution to unit holder, stable return, affordability, and also inflation hedge. IREIT also have helped investors to develop in wakaf asset, and it is a good thing to use IREIT for future. I think our government should do this new guideline to our country early than year 2005 in industry because IREIT have helped and make it easy for many industry to follow the true guideline in Sharia.
Thank you to all of our panels. My conclusion is IREIT is the best tools of investment for us to be involved in, especially in uncertainty situations such as COVID-19. We must gain as much as we can regarding the knowledge Islamic investment that is Sharia compliant because Islamic financial sector has grown rapidly nowadays. All of the panels already shared about what is IREIT, the type of IREIT, the benefit and risk of IREIT. Besides, the panel also has explained the combination of IREIT and wakaf. I hope everyone can gain benefits from this forum. If you have any further question, please wait until we end our forum. Then you may ask the panelists personally. That's all from me. Thank you for lending me your ears. Bear with us until the end. I'm sorry for my wrongdoings or I said anything bad throughout the forum. Assalamualaikum and once again, thank you.